Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up. Or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars, as the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years, even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon, though, soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end.
Where is Charles Lee? Hey there, Maxie. Long time no see. It's been centuries. I have been waiting for centuries. How's it going, Maxie? Welcome on in, dude. Thank you so much for leaving a lurk. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. We need a plan. Find Charles Lee. We need faith. Maybe he's in Tahiti. Maybe he's harvesting mangoes. Oh, that's great, Maxie. I'm really glad to hear that it's going good. That's awesome. Me too. I really do. So, between streams, I haven't been doing any story stuff. And desyncs only count inside memories. So if I'm desynchronized when just roaming around, it doesn't count. But we've been desynchronized once, and I need to remember what the command actually is to actually remember. I mean, I've desynced once. I know that for sure. But we're going to desync a lot. Here we go. So sync. Oh no, that's information about it, which I may as well still put in. I have been, Maxi, yeah. Yeah, things have been going good. And the weather here is finally getting a bit cooler. So I'm really liking this autumn weather so far too. So they're the kinds of things that can cause desynchronization. There's heaps of things too. A lot of stuff that I haven't put in there, but anything that causes desynchronization when inside a memory. And let's have a look. It's interesting. I thought the commands would be close together. Aha, here we go. Alright, so desync, desynced. Okay, so I think desynced is the one that says how many times. Yep, there we go. Hey there, Anasune. How's things? Hope it's going well. Hello, Matthew. How's it going? So that's how many times we've had a desync. So in between streams, I've just gone around and hunted animals and sold those pelts, and we've gotten Connor quite a bit of money. The first one I want to do is just check to see if there's any new conversations with people in present day. Leave the Animus. And as soon as speaking of it getting cooler, you're personally looking forward to winter, the time of year where you can get cozy without feeling too warm. Oh yeah. Yeah, winter's probably my favourite season. I prefer having to warm up than to try and cool down. Doesn't take much to actually warm up, I find, but it takes a lot to cool down. And even when you do things to try and cool down, it's not always enough.
I just want to be alone right now.
That's okay, Rebecca. Okay, no more combos with Daddy-O. Yeah, this must be a glitch that happens with the remaster, where you can completely see beyond. In the Xbox 360 version, you're not supposed to see beyond there straight away. It's supposed to be kind of obscured a bit. Hey there, Harbinger. Thank you for redeeming the scene reenactment of Schwarzenegger. Let's get Desmond back into the Animus. So it's not going to be a long stream. I want to do about 2 hours. And we're going to go and we're actually going to do some naval stuff. Oh, the other thing I did was I collected peg leg trinkets, and I've collected all the peg leg trinkets in the Frontier, at the Homestead, and in Boston. The only place that I have trinkets left to get is in New York, but we're not up to the point of the story where we go to New York yet. But I'm going to wait until I actually get all of those before doing any of the peg leg stuff. Let me go to I am Deba. I was the best man for my brother's wedding in Paris. At the reception, I raised my champagne glass and said, eggs, cinnamon, bread, and maple syrup. It was a French toast. That's a good one, Mr. Goatee. I like. It's really, really good. Matthew, you're the same way, Rod. You love winter, cold weather rather than summer weather, because here in Texas you deal with high humidity on top of 90 degrees Fahrenheit, sometimes 100. Oh, damn. Yeah, it's like, I just find too, it makes me uncomfortable, which then means I can't concentrate properly, and it just gets annoying, you know. Whereas, yeah, if it gets really cold, it can get annoying, but at least I can warm up, and then I can not, then I can get comfortable. Okay, so I've got a scene. Neo, this has to be done. Does it? I don't know. This can't be just coincidence. It can't be. What are you talking about? The Oracle. She told me this would happen. She told me that I would have to make a choice. What choice? What are you doing? I'm going in. No, you're not. I have to. Neo, Morpheus sacrificed himself so we could get you out. There is no way you're going back in. Morpheus did what he did because he believes something I'm not. What? I'm not the one, Trinity. The Oracle hit me with that too. No, you have to be. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm just another guy. No, Neo, that's not true. It can't be true. Why? Neo, this is Loco. They've got Morpheus in a military-controlled building. Even if you somehow got inside, those are agents holding him. 3 of them. I want Morpheus back too, but what you're talking about is suicide. I know that's what it looks like, but it's not. I can't explain to you why it's not. Morpheus believes in something, and he was ready to give his life. I understand that now. That's why I have to go. Why? Because I believe in something. What? I believe I can bring him back. That, of course, is from The Matrix, the first one. Thanks for redeeming that, Harbinger. Because I'm going to be doing a short stream, I won't have the other redemptions active for the Arnie dubs a cutscene, but in tomorrow's stream, which will be much longer, I'll have those 2 redeems active as well. This stream, I'd just like to focus really on getting some of these naval things done, I think. But I want to be careful with upgrades. So I got Connor's money up to 91,546. So that'll give us pretty much all the upgrades that we need for the Aquila, but I won't be upgrading everything with it straight away, because there is a mission, a naval mission called The Giant in the Storm, and the optional objective is you need to destroy 2 of the frigates. I think it's 2, or maybe it's 3. I can't remember now, 2 or 3. You have to destroy them by firing on their powder stores, and if your ship is upgraded too much, it's more difficult to damage the ship enough to show the powder stores, but not destroy it completely, if you know what I mean. So we're just going to play it by ear and see how we go with that. So for these, Edward will, Connor will not be wearing the outfit that Edward has. Some things I do want to get for it first, though, of course, is things that don't necessarily make us OP in terms of like power and damage we can do, but just makes it so that we can take a lot of damage. So I'll get the wooden hull reinforcements. And then the iron hull reinforcements. So that'll do well. So that increases damage, so I don't want to do that yet. Same with that and that. Improved rudder. This will be good. Improves how the ship handles. So we'll grab this. Okay, I won't get that yet. Naval ram. I don't want to get that yet because it might be too much to make too much damage. So for this playthrough, the reason I chose the remastered version, and I could have quite happily played the original version, but with games in the series that I'm playing for this annual series playthrough that have the option to choose Edward Kenway's outfit, I'm going to be selecting that for the character. So the remaster is the version for Assassin's Creed 3 that gives you the ability to have Connor wearing Edward's outfit, among other outfits as well. But as part of celebrating Black Flag's 10th anniversary, I wanted to have the characters in the series that can wear his outfit wear it as well. But when we do naval stuff, it'll automatically change it to Connor's captain outfit. So we've got the Ghost War Act 1, Dead of Night, Paving the Way, Henderson in Distress. Won't do any of these Templar specific ones yet, but we'll do this one, Sinking a Secret. Locate the Dartmoor to destroy its secrets. So Desynchronization when you're on a ship can come about because you die, i.e. lose all your ship's health. But there might be some other things that could cause desyncs, but let's see how we go. Okay, so I stand corrected. In the remaster, when you choose a different outfit, that works fine though. That actually works out really well. That in the remaster version, Connor can wear this outfit of his grandfather, who was a captain of a ship. Nice. It must only be in the original version that any outfits you wear get swapped to Connor's captaining outfit. Woohoo! Was cutting that fine. 2 seconds left on the count.
On the starboard side, Captain!
And there we go, that's that one done. Always like to say that the ship captaining gene skipped Hatham. Went from Edward to Connor. Henderson in distress. Defend the Henderson against British privateers. Anasune, you were hunting for a while to see what sword Arno uses in cutscenes, and from what you're able to tell, it seems to be a combination of swords for some reason. I wonder then if there might have been a change that happened in what weapons he had that had been made after the cutscenes were already finished. Maybe there's like a weapon that initially was in the game, but they took it out. But that weapon was still used by Arno in the cutscenes. So instead of taking it out of the cutscenes, maybe they just left that alone and then just took it out of the game as a weapon you could get. Paving the way. Find out what's happening near the lighthouse. Let us investigate. Anasune, like it seems to be the blade of the officer's saber with Shiavona hilt or something similar to it. Interesting, the two combinations. Yeah, not sure why that's the case. Dread of night. Chase down the notorious privateer ship, the St. James. Arr. Aye aye.
No sail, haul in everything. Haul in your half sail.
Anasune, your guess is just the officer's saber, but they ended up changing the hilt before release and just kept the cutscenes the same. That's true. They probably felt that there was no real point in making the change after that point. That could be why. Alright, next up. The Ghost War Act Part 1. Or the Ghost War Act 1. Track down and sink the Windermere and its fleet. And Asune, something you find funny about Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood is that you can slit people's throats with a broomstick. Yeah, that is so funny. I mean, it's funny alone that you can actually pick up a broom and use it as a weapon in that game, let alone also do that too. Hey there, hit pigs. Welcome on in. I hope things are going good. Things are going well. Doing a short stream of Assassin's Creed 3. Focusing on the naval missions, or at least all the naval missions that the game will let me do. I don't know if there'll be some that are cut off because of story progression or not. I know there are some related to the actual Templar target. Nicholas Biddle, I mean. Hit Pigs, things are good for you. Just watched Elvis, and it's such a good and emotional movie. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're going well, Hit Pigs. Glad that you enjoyed the movie too. I don't really know much about it. All I know is that the Australian director Baz Luhrmann directed it. But that's good that you enjoyed it. Sometimes you can't tell with those movies based on musicians or singers, you know, musicians, singers. Alright, the Ghost War, Act 2. Scuttle the Leviathan, which is carrying an important Templar emissary named Cthulhu.
Beware of our bow.
Ah, hello there, Lucinda. Good morning to you. Yeah, things are going good. And AC3 is going well, focusing on some naval stuff in this stream. This is going to be a short one. I hope things are going well. I hope you had a great rest of your stream with Resident Evil 4 Remake. Oh, nice. That's no worries at all. I hope that things go well and that you have a good time, or as much as you can when running errands. Oh, it was awesome. That's awesome. Listen, I'm glad to hear that you had a great stream. And you're doing another long stream today. Nice. Yeah, that'll be good. Oh, almost did. Ah, desynchronized. What is it? Desync. Alright, so we need to restart the memory. Yeah, another one. I'm expecting more though too, because there's especially a mission later where you have 2 ships and the optional objectives require you to do certain things, and the main objective is you can't be detected. If you're detected, desynchronized. Alright, so there's no other naval missions related to contracts that we can actually do at the moment. Now this ruins at Cerros. In the remaster version, it's bundled. In the original version, it was a extra add-on that if you pre-ordered the game, you would get the ruins at Cerros as an extra mission that you could do. I mustn't have secured it for my Xbox 360 version, because the last time I played this game, I played the Xbox 360 version. Because when I was celebrating this game's 10th anniversary last year, I wanted to play the 360 version because that's the version I played back in 2012 when the game first came out. And that mission wasn't available anymore because it would have been connected to the Ubisoft servers that they shut down. And any content, even if you had bought content but hadn't actually downloaded and installed it, you would lose it when the servers were shut down. But if you had already purchased it and installed it, then I think you were fine. But that mission was missing, but it's in the remaster version. It's actually a really cool location. It's like a Mayan ruin. So we do have this naval mission. This one is called the Chase. It's part of the ones in chasing Nicholas Biddle, one of the other Templar targets as well. And we've got peg leg missions, but I'm going to wait until I get all of them. And the only ones that I have left to get are in New York. And New York is a location that we haven't accessed yet in the story. And there's no other homestead missions available for me to do at the moment. So yeah, the only trinkets we have left are in New York. We're currently in sequence 6. So Connor's been inducted into the Assassin Brotherhood. Now we must seek out the Templars and put an end to their plots. Alright, so I've been streaming for an hour. And sequence 6. The next sequence is sequence 7, which is Lexington and Concord. And this sequence involves the Tea Party and everything. Alright, so I think before I end the stream, we'll do sequence 6. So this is where we're up to in the story, so let us go and fast travel to Boston. And do this sequence.
Sanctions and demonstrations won't suffice, Sam. We need to act, and I'm talking about more than a sternly worded letter.
I sympathize with your frustrations, gentlemen. But surely you can understand my reluctance to kick the hornet's nest.
It's a tourist thing no matter what we do. Might as well make it count.
Ah, Connor. Hello again. What brings you to Boston?
You.
Would you excuse us, fellows? Thank you. That conversation was about to turn unpleasant. Now, what can I do for you?
I was hoping you could help me locate William Johnson.
Of course. I'm headed to a meeting with some men who should be able to help. Why don't you come along? It's good to see the people finally taking a stand against injustice.
Says the man who owns a slave.
Ooh, sorry? I practice what I preach, my friend. She's not a slave, but a freed woman. At least on paper. Men's minds are not so easily turned. It's a tragedy that for all our progress, still we cling to such barbarism.
Then speak out against it.
We must focus first on defending our rights. When this is done, we'll have the luxury of addressing these other matters.
You speak as though your condition is equal to that of the slaves. It is not.
Tell that to my neighbor who was compelled to quarter British troops, or to my friend whose store was closed because he displeased the crown. The people here are no freer than Surrey.
You offer excuses instead of solutions. All people should be equal, and not in turns.
It's in turns, or not at all. We must compromise, Connor, however painful that may be. Try and solve all the world's problems at the same time, and you'll wind up solving none at all.
I didn't want that dialogue to be cut off, because if you keep going with him at his pace, the dialogue will get cut off there. So now that it's played, let's go.
Hey! It's my home, no matter what you thieves called taxmen say! If the gums in Parliament who want to take my property, you tell them to sail across the pond and take it themselves!
It's not open for discussion now. Open this door or these men will break it down. Ah!
Ah, bollocks! We're coming in!
I trust the mounting evidence is proof enough, Connor.
Continue on. I shall meet you at our destination.
I could use some support! You just take what's not yours!
Justice for once. I dare the governor to send more.
You all right?
I'm fine. It's not my first dance. For all their teeth and claws, these little foxes, they fight like puppies. Thank you, my friend. I'd buy you an ale, but I'm expected somewhere else.
Connor, I'd like you to meet some like-minded friends. The owner of this fine establishment, William Molyneux, and the manager and chef of his newest venture, Stéphane Chaffeau.
Ah, Connor and I just had a ball with some redcoats enforcing some taxmen outside my home.
The collectors grow bolder and more forceful. Something we must address, Samuel.
Then let us raise a banner. Something to let the people know that they are not alone. The docks are an angry place of late. Protesters picketing the latest shipments of British tea. The eyes of the city are upon that stage.
A Bostonian without his tea is a dangerous beast.
William Johnson is smuggling the tea off the ships. One of his men tried to sell me this. A sample of what I refused. But it's from those ships. No mistaking the stamp. He's charging a king's ransom. Must be he's making a mint off those who buy it.
Where is he now?
I've never met the man.
May I ask why you seek him, Connor?
He intends to purchase the land upon which my village stands, without the consent of my people.
No doubt the revenue from his little smuggling endeavor is financing the acquisition. A tax enforced on tea grants a boon to smugglers. I'll wager the same men who levy the taxes are selling the tea. A stage requires a spectacle, and I may know the play.
Tea. Lucy
Connor,
Thorne would think that's
head back to the
delicious.
docks and see to the destruction of the tea. If you should need us, return here.
Hello, Connor. That tea is being illegally smuggled all around Boston by Johnson's men. If you see any crates in transit, perhaps you could put a stop to the delivery. And those moody tax collectors are still at it. They could use a lesson or two, huh?
Pardon me.
Oh, come on, mate.
Told you to move. Oh, he's still alive. I can't say I didn't warn him. Kept on pushing him out of the road instead of fleeing. Just wanted to stay there and get a taste of that explosion. Hope after his free sample he decided to leave then. Oh. The dog's like, can I get a pat? Dead bodies all around. He's like, I don't care. I just want a pat. I don't care if there's 20 dead bodies around. Oh my god. Harbinger, you have over 40,000 points, but still loot guards for pounds, but still loot guards for 10. Have to find a decent arty impression scene. Every little bit counts. Plus they might have ammo on them too. No, don't whistle, Connor. Pull the poster off the wall. Don't know who saw me, but okay, game. Ah, so the enemy group behind the corner of the building, completely out of point of view or line of sight, were able to detect Connor, were they? Interesting. Didn't know they can see around corners. This dude's still running around. Out of the way. Wasn't even holding the control stick in that dude's direction.
Stefan, what is wrong? Where is Sam Adams?
Who cares? I've been robbed! Oh, ils vont me le payer, ces scélérats de merde!
Where are you going?
To get back what's rightfully mine. Ces coquins me prennent mon père au Canada et voilà qu'ils me ravissent ma propriété ici. Il suffit. But the king sends these red ghosts to push us around. They are not our masters! This is our city! Let's show them who owns it! It's time to fight!
Stefan, please! Stop and listen to me!
I've listened for long enough. They come into my home and take my things? I will get my revenge. The man responsible for this will pay. His friends will pay. Voilà trop longtemps que je subis ces affronts. Ils vont goûter de mon courroux. Qui veulent s'approprier ma nouvelle demeure.
Injustice, but this is not it.
Destroyed? You stupid mongrel! I suppose you want me to tell Johnson his tea just spontaneously combusted? Nonsense. Someone's responsible for this, and you will find out who. And if you can't, I'll gut you and find a smarter mongrel who can.
What do we do? Create a window.
Absolutely, Harbinger. It's such a great piece of music. When you aren't in combat, at least. That's true. Gets interrupted by combat music. But yeah, it is a great piece of music by Lorne Balfe.
The bloody hell are you?
Why? You have no right to rob people blind. By decree of the British Parliament or not.
British Parliament? I worked for William Johnson.
Johnson?
End his suffering cleanly.
Please.
people seem to have an ear for you. What are the things you lost?
The people listen to me only because I spoke the truth loud enough, which is worth 1,000 times the content of my footlocker. The English, they can keep my things.
You did well tonight.
I said I'd buy you an ale when you first helped me. In place of drink, I offer you my allegiance. For what it's worth.
Your aid is welcome, and I am grateful. Now, I need to find Sam Adams.
The angry chef, Gordon Ramsay. Harbinger played D4 beta and reached the level cap in 6 hours and you got bored. So D4, what's that actually for? Connor has such a cold killer voice sometimes. Sometimes he does. But sometimes when he's talking, it's more about the words he's saying and not how he's saying them or how his voice sounds. Oh, it's Diablo 4. Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, I was reading, I was going, D4. Because I was thinking of, well, because I was thinking of, what is it? Left 4 Dead and the sequel that they did called Back 4 Blood. And I was like, oh no, that can't be it. Because it's D4. I see, so Diablo 4. I like how the glitch where it says Fort Hill, approach the fort. And I'm like, no. How about I don't, game? As far as I know, it's a glitch only in the remaster version. It's funny that, isn't it? You would think in a remaster of a game there wouldn't be any glitches. Conceptually you would think that, but execution-wise, no.
Cargo and all.
Aye, but Governor Hutchison refuses to let them leave. Wants us to take the tea, pay the duties, and say thank you kindly to the king.
Thank you kindly to the king. The king kindly kiss my arse. Citizens! Anderson, you wonder how assassins are able to hide so easily while wearing giant assassin insignias on their belt. Yeah, I wonder, you know. But it's one of those things, you know. It's like, how come villains don't wait in all the hotels around the world for James Bond to check in, you know? They're just things that you have to sort of like put aside.
What happens now?
We wait for the signal.
What signal?
This meeting can do nothing further to save the country.
That one.
Evening, gentlemen. Shall we be off?
No.
What's the matter?
I have spent today drawn from one bit of madness to another with nothing to show for it. Before I go any further, I would like to know exactly what it is you intend.
Of course. First, we make our way to Nathaniel Bradley's house to fetch the rest of our little group. Then it's on to Griffin's Wharf, where we board the ships and dump the tea. Simple as that.
Simple seems a bit charitable.
Cheer up, Connor. For tonight, we are all victors. The Sons of Liberty get to send a message to England, and you rob William Johnson of his financing. Your village will be saved. I've an idea. Why don't you lead the way? That should keep us out of any further trouble. Am I right? Damn it, more guards.
We need to turn the crowd's anger to our advantage.
Say the word, Connor, and I will make it so. We need to keep those bastards at bay while the tea is being dumped. Let me help. I'm yours to command.
I'm not going to go to the fort. You can take the message off the fucking screen.
Benny, now I have a way to get back up in case I force. Ah, precious. Got him, got him.
Hey there, Zareth. How's it going? Phantom, shake my head. People don't put up their pinky at the tea party. They don't. It's like, come on, that's how you're supposed to drink it, isn't it? When you're drinking tea. There was a glitch here once where Achilles was waiting for Connor there like he's supposed to, yet there was a version of Achilles tending to a horse at the same time.
It is done.
Johnson is dead?
No. He retreated when we destroyed the T.
Only to hatch some new scheme, I'm sure. You should have killed him.
There was no need.
Time will tell if you speak the truth.
Radun Hagedum! Radun Hagedum! Ganondokon, why are you here? Has something happened?
William Johnson has returned with all the money required to buy our land. He meets with the elders as we speak. I have begged him to resist, but I fear he shall have his way unless you intervene.
How is this possible? We destroyed the T.
The Templars are nothing if not resourceful. You should have heeded my warning.
Please, you have to stop him.
Of course. Can you tell me where they're meeting?
Izzy not ganya daradit ganusade ne Johnson's yun jat daro rocksta. Gwahigan zi wat ne ganun haradun hagedum.
Ta gwader harat gwa ganto.
Afro, you struggle with Achilles as a character here. He is a broken man who lost everything, his family, the creed, the brotherhood, and then there is Achilles in Rogue, dumb and full of pride. Can't really explain it how he feels in Rogue. Well, my guess is you have the writers of Assassin's Creed 3 who wrote Achilles as a broken man, put in things that future writers could actually use to show a character evolution from when he was younger to how we find him in in 3, sorry. But the writers of Rogue probably thought that they had to make Achilles the polar opposite of what he was, just for the sake of having him be the polar opposite to what he was, and completely overlooking any possibility of using the fact that his wife and son are dead by the time of AC3 as a good reason to have something happen with Achilles, you know. Like, I feel it would have been better if after his wife and son was killed that he decided that he didn't believe strong enough in the creed anymore to want to follow through and continue on after the loss. And so that's why he became like a bit of a recluse and let the Brotherhood fall. But the writers of Rogue decided to completely ignore the fact that his wife and son was dead as a reason to make him change, you know. So I would say that's a writer's fault for writing the character to be that way in Rogue. Phantom, it's human nature to have flaws. This is true. But there's definitely ways in writing to do something that's not lazy, you know. Like, it's very easy to make Achilles someone who, you know, is dumb and full of pride, you know. But that's not necessarily the best way to go about making the character different than what he is in 3. Now, if you want to use the betrayal angle, the writers of Rogue, what they could have done is they could have made it that the character that you were playing as was highly regarded by Achilles. He was someone that Achilles knew since they were a child and put a lot of faith in. And at some point, that assassin actually becomes a double agent for the Templars and betrays the assassins. And it's not until the end of the story that Achilles finds out that this assassin betrayed the assassins, and that Hatham was one of the reasons why he got turned to the Templar side. I think that would have been a better story to do for Rogue, given wanting to use an assassin who became a Templar. But an even better way would have been to just take the Forsaken novel that follows Hatham and actually adapt that into a video game and have that be the game that Rogue wasn't. Hey there, Hipsuit. Thank you so much for joining. I hope it's going well. Phantom, flawless characters are usually unlikable. Yeah. You just need to be careful with what you do when you're writing a character to be flawed. Alright, what are the optional objectives again? Reach Johnson undetected. Which you think would have been... no wonder why we weren't in the spot for it to become active in the first place. Hey there, Max. How's it going? But yeah, I think if you had a story like that where Achilles had an assassin that they strongly admired, who was, you know, he was their mentor, and they betrayed the assassins and Achilles, but the betrayal wasn't revealed to Achilles until the end of the game. That way you'd be playing as an assassin who in the story was actually working for the Templars. And we as the player would know that, you know, as soon as the story point came up. And then that could also, you know, be a little bit of why Achilles is hesitant to train Connor because he had a student, or he had an assassin, you know, that ended up becoming a Templar. That's what I would have went with anyway, if I was coming up with a game to do instead of Rogue. Because if you're gonna have a character be one way later in their life, you need to think of a plausible reason why they would end up being that way. And just because you give a reason doesn't mean that it's a good reason, you know. Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that, Max. That's awesome that you're going well. And I'm doing great, thanks. I've been going good. Having a good weekend. Come on, game. Why can't you make Connor climb up further than that when he can?
How? By signing our lands over to you?
There we go. Don't you hate when games lie to you? When you know that you can do something?
What hope have we against their black powder and iron?
The spirits will guide us, as they always have.
Did they not guide us here?
Yes, that we might unmask the great betrayer.
This is a mistake. We should sign.
Pretty much, Max. Whatever, game. They'll still investigate. That's the annoying thing about this game's AI, is even if you get away from them before their red icon fills, they'll still come actually looking for you. Whereas in other games, it wouldn't be until there was a certain indicator where it would tell you, you know, like, usually it's supposed to be halfway at least on the icon, letting you know that you're getting close to the full detection. Phantom, only if it's half above the indicator. Yeah. Well, in any case, in this game, they send them after you, even if they slightly see you. Phantom, that's how you caught the guards in Black Flag, lol. Yeah, it's so funny, like, especially when you're hiding in bushes and you just pop your head up for a bit and then go back down. And that's enough for them to want to investigate.
Peace, peace! Have I not always been an advocate? Have I not always sought to protect you from harm?
If you wish to protect us, then give us arms, muskets and horses that we might defend ourselves.
War is not the answer.
We remember, Stanwix. We remember you moved the borders. Even today your men dig up the land, showing no regard for those who live upon it. Your words are honeyed but false. We are not here to negotiate, nor to sell. We are here to tell you and yours to leave these lands.
So be it. I offered you an olive branch, and you knocked it from my hand. Perhaps you'll respond better to the sword.
Are you threatening us?
Yes. Oh no. What have you done?
Ensured an end to your schemes. You sought to claim these lands for the Templars.
Aye, that we might protect them. Do you think that good King George lies awake at night, hoping that no harm comes to his native subjects? Or that the people of the city care one whit about them? Oh, sure. The colonists are happy to trade when they need food or shelter, or a bit of extra padding for their armies. But when the walls of the city constrict, when there's crops that need soil, when there's no more enemy to fight, we'll see how kind the people are then.
The colonists have no quarrel with the Iroquois.
Not yet, but they will. 'Tis the way of the world. In time, they'll turn. I could have stopped it. I could have saved you all.
You speak of salvation, but you were killing them.
Aye, because they would not listen. And so, it seems, neither will you.
Ayawas ne yate hagum sare am dahyayum ne skanas izagum haja.
Thank you, game. Just because I had the camera on a different angle, you didn't fucking respond to my button presses to make Connor actually, you know, do a leap of faith off the thing. Thank you very much. Jesus Christ, I hate that kind of shit. Oh, game, what the fuck are you doing? Don't fucking lie to me, come on. Jesus fucking Christ. He's just jumping off the fucking thing. Yeah, he'll do that, but he won't just jump off the friggin' viewpoint. Okay, let's take this slowly. Stand on the edge. And then dive. There we go. Simple. Did I do it? Game or not? Probably not. Let's see, I bet you it says X. Yeah. Fuck you, game. Fuck you. Sit on my fucking middle finger and rotate, you cunt.
William Johnson is dead, and with him, the Templar plot to steal the land of my people. But in ending this threat, I have revealed another. On his body was a letter addressed to John Pitcairn containing orders to root out and destroy Patriot weapons and supplies. Should he succeed in this, the colonists will be unable to maintain their resistance, and the Templars will surely take control. So long as Pitcairn lives, the danger remains. I need to find him. He needs to die. I thought it might bring clarity or instill a sense of accomplishment, but all I feel is regret
Hold fast to that. Such sacrifices must never come lightly.
I had to do it. Not only for my people, but for all the others Johnson would have harmed.
It's a start. But to truly be free of Templar influence, all of them must be dealt with in turn. Even your father.
I know.
You speak the words, but do you believe them? Seems we've company.
What is it?
A request for aid from Paul Revere. Seems the Redcoats are up to something in Boston. Guess you made an impression on the Sons of Liberty.
They mistake me for one of their own. Please tell Mr. Revere he has my sympathies, but I cannot help at present.
You might wish to reconsider. John Pitcairn is mentioned by name.
Where am I to go?
Mr. Revere's house in Boston. If you'd like, I can...
Understood there. Rogue was kind of like, so Achilles already has a pre-established backstory, let's just ignore that. And Arno's father's killer is meant to be someone else. Now let's have the killer be Shay.
Is he not gonna dirt off?
Yeah, so that's the thing too. The story for... Whoop, that's not what I want. I want... Wrong button. There we go. The thing is, the story for Unity was already locked in stone at least a year before Rogue was even a thing that they started writing. And the writers of Rogue decided that they wanted to make the character they were writing into Arno's killer. So that's why when you actually watch Assassin's Creed Unity, there's no character model for Shay whatsoever. The character model that we see killing Arno's father in that initiation sequence is actually the symbolic version of Arno himself, because Arno blames himself for the fact that he wasn't able to stop his father from dying, and he wasn't able to help the Lasser from dying. So when we see his father get assassinated in that initiation sequence, it's not Shay that kills him. So that's why there's no mention of Shay in the game itself, in Unity. But you're right though, they ignored backstory stuff for Achilles that could have been used in their story. But they weren't thinking that. Phantom, you lack the faith. That's why the game's like, no. The game was like, gladly, that's true. Yeah, the game was like, fine. Phantom, is this the remake? No, it's the remaster. Yeah, it's the remaster that came out in 2018. Yeah, exactly, Phantom. The game is like, we'll just fuck you over.
You seek land to another, land that is not yours nor any person.
We are all too aware of the expeditions your people send against us.
AC3 Remastered is a good example of it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I mean, there are things that I'm glad that they did, like the lockpicking minigame. You don't have to keep tapping the right trigger now when you're holding the left and right control stick. So that was a good thing. But I actually prefer the way the graphics look in the original.
This is a mistake. We should sign.
Now that arsehole of an enemy is just gonna camp there. Oh no, he's not. Yes, he is. Make up your fucking mind. I like that. He only moves when we get near the Spotylosaurus. There we go. Have a high-profile assassination. Zereth, or maybe Faith lacked me. Exactly. Faith. Round the corner. There we go. You did not just see me, game. You did not see me at all. Saved by the cutscene. Nice.
Peace.
Or maybe
Have I not
the.
always been an advocate?
No.
Have I not always sought to protect you from harm?
Of course, the enemies would still be right where they were. Alright. Let's do this again.
Still go.
What? Limit? That? You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Jump. Don't know why Connor did that. He could have made the jump without having to jump and hang off the thing. Alright, now this time, leap of faith.
Oh no.
Fucking work. Like you're supposed to fucking do. Alright game, let's try this again. This time I'll go a bit slower for you so you can actually do it. Alright game, now what we do is we get to the edge and then when I press the right buttons, that's what you do. Now how hard was it to do that last time? Really hard apparently. Phantom leapoffaith.exe stopped responding. Send an error report to Ubisoft. And they'll proceed to do nothing with it. If it was still paper, they'd wipe their ass with it instead. Exactly, Zereth is like, yeet! Alright, so there we go, that's better. Just as a reminder too, this is a no desync challenge, so I am allowed to reload checkpoints, and if I fail an optional objective, that's fine. That's not what desync is. It's when you die, or you're tailing a target and they get too far away from you, or if you're supposed to be following someone and you get too far away from them. If you lose sight of them for too long, you'll get desynchronized. Some missions, if you get detected at all, it'll desync you, so those sorts of things are part of the challenge. But simply not getting an optional objective done is not counted. Alrighty then, so we're going to go and leave the Animus. We're actually out of sequence 6. This was only going to be a short stream, so I'm going to actually end it here. but tomorrow's stream of this will be much longer. But I just want to thank everyone for watching this stream. If you see me streaming this again, you know it's become Sunday. Just go back to the bundle menu, or back to the main menu, I mean. We're going to raid Crocodiles, who is celebrating 2,000 followers. And here's a shout out to Maxi and also to Lucinda. Catch you next time, Harbinger. Exactly, Zereth, a yeet of faith. Want to highly recommend people check out Maxi as well as Lucinda. Zamaxi is playing through Assassin's Creed Syndicate. He's actually playing through all the games in the series. That's the one that he's currently up to. He has some funny channel points rewards on his channel, both visual and also audio as well. And he also likes JRPGs. He's also a fan of games like the Deus Ex series, as well as Tomb Raider also. Highly recommend checking out Lucinda. Is doing her Resident Evil marathon, playing through the remake. Started that yesterday. And she'll also be doing Resident Evil 5, 6, 7, Village, which is 8 of course. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. Not in that order, but they're the remaining games after the remake of 4 that she'll be doing. He's also a fan of games like Dishonored series, as well as the games Evil Within. So I highly recommend checking out those channels if you haven't checked out before. Here's a raid message that people can feel free to put in as we raid Crocodiles. There's that one, and I also have one that includes some free follower emotes as well. But definitely feel free to add your own as well. Phantom, no keyboard detected. Press F1 to retry or escape to cancel. Yeah. Go Alt F4 and keep on doing that. That's okay, Zereth. Absolutely no trouble at all. Thanks for stopping in, everyone. Catch you next time, Hipsuit. Zereth, Evie Fry equals waifu. Evie Fry is always asked, well, Jacob is always asked by the Rooks if Evie is still taken or not. They're like, Jacob Fry, how's your sister? Still in the running, I hope? It's like, I did an Australian accent then, whoops. But they're like, no. What a thing to ask him anyway. I know that, you know, it's not to be taken seriously, but anyway, it's funny how they say that to Jacob. That's okay, Hipsuit. Absolutely no trouble at all.